You guys, hello, my name is Oshina and I'm going to be reading Just Friends by Haley Pham. My copy finally came in. I live in Canada, I pre-ordered it and it came like a week after the release date, so at least it's here. I'm really excited to dive into this. I already have my bookmark picked out and I am just so excited for Haley. I think that this is just like kind of iconic for us. She's not the first booktuber to release a book, but she does feel like one of the girls and I'm just really happy for her. I'm happy that someone like her is getting this opportunity. So, of course, I've heard mixed things. Every book has mixed ratings. That's okay. I'm going in with an open mind. I do expect to like this book because I know that she put a lot of effort in. I followed her whole writing journey, and I know that she's kind of trying to have the same quality of writing like Emily Henry does. And when I did try to read Emily Henry, I really liked her writing style. It was just the spice content that I couldn't handle. I think Haley's going to not put any spice in her book as well, which I'm very happy about. So we'll see. I'll let you know exactly the content. I'm reading this from a Christian perspective. I am a woman in my 30s, and I'm hopeful that this is going to appeal to a wide range of ages and readers, and I'm just really looking forward to it. I love Friends to Lovers, so I'm really excited about this book. I'll do a non-spoiler section and a spoiler section, so we'll go back and forth. I'll put timestamps, so skip around as you need to, and I'm really excited to share this with all of you, so let's get into it. First check-in, I have read chapter 1 and 2 so far of Just Friends by Haley Pham, and you guys, I am just very impressed by Haley. I just really respect her. I respect her like business mind. I respect her life and her heart. I am really happy for her with this book. So maybe that means I'm going in a little biased, but I am like reading it to enjoy it, and so far, I think it's great. Honestly, I can tell that she's putting in specific effort to have high quality writing. And I think because we know her and she's shown her whole process, maybe it feels like maybe the writing is too try hard or too like over the top or flowery or whatever. I think it has to be that way because we would criticize her no matter what. So for her to put the time and effort in to tell the story in the way that she is, like, she truly is taking her time to build this character of Blair. And I haven't really said what it's about, but it is a second chance romance between Blair and Declan. And it's in Blair's perspective so far. I don't know if we're going to get Declan's perspective, but the first 2 chapters are following Blair. And you see a bit of her life and her family, and I just can see that Haley put in a lot of effort, and I just enjoy that. So far I like it. No language so far, and I doubt there will be any, and no spice, and nothing like suggestive at all. She's just like building the story right now, but we have met Declan too. So I'm very curious about how Haley's gonna write that dynamic, and if she will be able to build that chemistry between them without it going too sexual. So I'm really excited though, you guys, so let's keep going. I am definitely taking my time. I'm soaking it in. I don't want to binge this necessarily because I want to just like savor it in a way. I don't know. I'm just feeling very happy for her. Like, there's something about seeing her be successful. I think she deserves it, honestly. And I hope that God uses her story and her voice for his glory and the good of the world because we need it. And I don't know. I just wish good things for her. So let's keep going. Hey guys, first check-in, or second check-in I guess. On page 35 of my copy, I think they probably all have the same page numbers. Page 35 near the bottom. So I'm not going to do spoilers in this section. So she is talking to someone and they ask her to tell them about herself. She says, "I was born and raised in Alberta, Canada." And right away I was like, hey, that's cool. And then literally any mention of Canada in a book, I'm like, shout out, because it just doesn't happen very often. And Alberta is not the province that I live in, but I've been there several times. I think it's cool that she used that. I should probably like look up interviews with Haley and stuff, like why she chose the things that she did. Like even this, I don't know. Anyways, all I'm saying is shout out Canada because we rarely get anything in books, and it was cool to see that here. I'm definitely still really enjoying it, and I would say that just a little bit the writing doesn't flow, or it's not quick to read. It's not a quick read for me. I feel like the writing is kind of slowing me down. Not in a bad way though. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyways, I'm gonna keep reading this scene and see what happens. Okay, I know the lighting is really bad, you guys, but I'm just waiting to pick up my sister from the airport, and so I brought this book with me to get some reading in, and I just finished chapter 5, and the very last paragraph of chapter 5 on page 48, this is good. I am very impressed, and I just love Haley for this. I really do. She is really diving into the grief when someone leaves, and I just really relate to what she's saying here, so I won't read the whole thing, but the last couple sentences say, "Opening up was a risk the emotionally unintelligent made, and of course people always leave eventually. If they haven't yet, it's because you just haven't gotten to that part of the story." I think that's brilliant. I love that last line. If they haven't left yet, it's because you just haven't gotten to that part of the story. I relate to that. And like, how did she think of that? I'm just impressed, I have to say. So now we're on page 49, 8 years ago, freshman year. So we're doing flashbacks 8 years ago. Oh, so the flashbacks are not in order then, because the other flashbacks have been like 6 years ago. Interesting. Well, I guess because her and Declan were like childhood friends, and then something happened. So what happened? They had like a big fight. I'm assuming like everyone who reads second chance romance, everyone knows that we hate when the issue is just miscommunication. So there's no way she's gonna make that be the reason they didn't talk, or they like broke up. So actually the lighting isn't too bad like this. Thank you, streetlights. But I have to go pick up my sister now. But you guys, I'm reading this very slow. I'm like one chapter, and then I need to update because she just is putting a lot of richness in the story as well. What could I say except you're welcome? Hello friends! So I did make some changes already to my book room. So if you watched my setup video things already look a little bit different. But I'll do more like vlogs and just like day in my life type content so that you can see what's going on if you care. But for now, I do have an update on this book. And okay, so I'm on chapter 9, page 91, and there is one mention of like praying in God now. That's cool to see actually, because the G is capitalized, and that always tells me that there is a level of respect there by the author, so I do appreciate it. Yeah, it's page 90, very last couple sentences of chapter 8. Blair saying, "I pray to God that it's true." And the G is capital. So I appreciate that. I know it might be like a throwaway comment, but I do think it's still accurate. Like, that's how people talk, even if they aren't a Christian. So I'm fine with it. Something I'm like, I want to know what's up with Declan, because he's so mad and yet like kind to her, but like clearly mad. And I just really hope there's a good explanation, because the stinking flashbacks are adorable of them. Like, they are perfect for each other, they love each other, and they don't want it to end, and yet it ended. So I'm just very curious. Yeah, again, still reading it slower. In chapter 8 in particular, like once I hit that like kind of, I guess, 80 page mark, I started to like sense that this is a 4-star read for me, because it's just not like flowing as quickly as a 5-star read does for me. I still see the quality, I still enjoy it, I still think it's good, but for my personal preference in how a story reads, it's reading slower than what my 5 stars read as. So I would say that like I'm invested, but not as much as I want to be. So that's all I can say, but I'm still enjoying it. I still think that this is great. It's a 4-star for sure. And there's been no language, and they have kissed once, and it was so cute. I really appreciated the way she wrote that scene, because it was more so about their feelings for each other rather than the like physical act, and I just liked that. So there you go. I'm gonna keep reading, and I will let you know how things go. Okay, I'm really into this book now, and so I've just kind of been reading through, but I have some pages that I want to update for the spoiler section, so I'm really enjoying this now. I'm really happy about that. It's flowing quicker. Like, I don't know how writing a book works, because I've never tried it before, even though I want to eventually. It's just interesting how like once I like got invested, I think maybe I'm just more invested. I don't know. This is the spoiler section, who cares? I really love, okay, what I'm trying to say is most authors, most romance authors, most authors writing in this space that are secular, they find any chance to put sensual or just like more chemistry focused scenes for the characters. And I feel like Haley, that's not her agenda with this book. It's her, why can I not get it together? Okay. I feel like this is about Blair processing her grief, confronting a past love that ended, and there's grief there too. And so it's not about the physical attraction or physical chemistry for them. It's about the like healing and the reconciliation, I feel like. Is that what I'm trying to say? I don't know. I just think that's a really smart move on Haley's part, because it just shows that she isn't writing necessarily for her readers. She's writing for the characters. Does that even make sense? The 4.5 years ago, senior year, we get the like beginnings of the fight, I guess, or maybe this is the fight, like what their issues are. I'm definitely like really enjoying it now, and I want to read it, whereas before I was kind of pushing myself to read it more, because it was a slow start for me to get invested, just because it took me a while to get used to the writing. I feel like I'm used to the writing style now, and now I'm just like invested in wanting to read it. So still sitting at a 4-star, but like definitely a high recommendation from me. There's been no language, except there was a mention of a character saying, oh, she, and it was like SHIIIII. So of course, you know, they were planning to say, but they didn't actually say it. That's the only like allusion to that. And then there was one more reference to prayer and saying God and God's name, and the G was capitalized again. So I am happy with that. So let's keep going. I finished it, you guys. I really enjoyed this. I'm very impressed, and I am a little bit sick, so I sound a little raspy, but I am so impressed by Haley for writing this. I think like the core theme, I guess, that she was writing about was grief. So definitely some deep emotions of grief explored in this book, and I thought she did a brilliant job. And she used the romance between Blair and Declan to just show more of that growth and more of how it affects you in relationships. And I loved it. I thought this was brilliant. It's not a 5-star read for me. It is 4 stars. I still would highly recommend this. I just did take some time to get into the writing, and there were times when I felt like she was exploring like a certain topic or just like a certain scene a little more than I was interested in reading, but not by much. Like it still was so good, and I stand by everything I said. I thought she did a great job. I will for sure be following her writing career now, and I hope that she does write another book. I think this is a great debut, and to like set her up for, I guess, set up the readers for what to expect from her. I think this is a great expectation. Does that even make sense? But really liked, I guess, how all the conflict resolved, how it came up, and the characters were just so kind to each other, and I loved the epilogue / the 6 months later piece. I guess in secular romance, I rarely see it happen. In Christian romance, you definitely see it happen, and I'm not going to say what it is, but if you know what I'm talking about, maybe you know what I'm talking about, but I just like that she included that piece of their relationship as well, because I think that should be the goal of every relationship, and so I'm glad to see it in this one. And again, it stayed so respectful, and I don't know what else to say, but just like the physical relationship that they had was just so sweet. It was very sweet and respectful towards both each other, both of them. I'm sick, so I'm a little bit loopy, but love this book, you guys. Highly recommend. I'm so glad that I own this. This is a great pick for Christians. That there's that one use of like the SHIII, and then they do kiss, and she talks a little bit about how they're touching each other, but not in any explicit way, and it's really just to show their connection and their love. I just thought it was just so well done. That's all I can say. So thank you for watching this reading vlog. Please share your non-spoiler thoughts in the comments, but do stay tuned. I'm gonna put all of my spoiler thoughts right after this clip so you can see what I think with the details. But yeah, I will say that, and highly recommend, you guys. Thanks for watching. Okay, I have a note for the spoiler section. So I think I'm just on chapter 4. Let me double check. Oh, it doesn't have a chapter. So it's the first 6 years ago in the summer. So I guess before, because 4 years ago something happened, and this is 6 years ago. So we're just like seeing the buildup of their relationship, and I'm really loving this chapter. And I just got to the part where they're talking about like what type of bird she would be. Declan said a blue-footed booby, and that is like a real bird. And that's the bird on the cover as well. So cute. So back in the day, when I was a kid, we had a bird book, and I would be flipping through it, and whenever I would get to the blue-footed booby in that book, I remember laughing so hard because I was a kid and I thought it was really funny that it said booby. So I just think that's like funny because I have a connection to that bird as well. And yeah, I'm like smiling at this scene because I think it's so cute, and I don't know, I'm just enjoying this. Like, it is so endearing and sweet and wholesome. I'm still just so impressed. I'm so impressed that she is writing a deep story without using language or sexual content. I just appreciate it. So I'm still early in, but I'm going to continue. Oh, you guys. So I'm at the interview between her and Declan, and what is up with Declan? Why is he so mad? But she is like totally pushing his buttons. When he asks like 3 words to describe you, like, what is he playing at? First of all, like, tell me about yourself, and being all rude and like stoic. And then the first word, she's like, loyalty. Loyalty is huge for me. When I love someone, I would truly not let anything stand in the way of us ever again. I would stick by them forever. And obviously, he didn't do that with her. So, and she's like, well, as long as it is up to me, of course. I'm loving the tension, actually. I do feel the tension. And he's calling her Miss Lang. Like, what is going on, actually? That is crazy. Okay, chapter 5, page 38. I think just like the whole, this is an experience, and I'm literally only 5 chapters in, but I just feel like this is what I want reading to be, like exciting and interesting, because I'm just so fascinated that Haley wrote this. And not that I know her, I totally don't know her, but I've watched her YouTube videos for a long time, and I just really like her as a person. So like, I just think it's cool that she wrote this. Okay, I have another update for the spoiler section. So on chapter 6, or in chapter 6 on page 62 / like 61, 62, Declan is strange. Like, I'm so curious what is going on there, because his behavior is just so different from the flashbacks. And I'm really curious what she's going to like make the explanation be. Because like these first couple lines were so awkward. Like, well, first of all, she gets to work, like he does hire her, and she gets to work, and he walks through the door and says, oh, hi, Blair. And it seems like maybe his, like, I guess he was putting on some kind of show, like calling her Miss Lang earlier and like acting weird. And then his like natural response to her is just to say, oh, hi, Blair. Then she's like, oh, glasses. And he's like, what? And she's like, oh, sorry, it's just that you're wearing glasses. And it's weird, or not weird, but just like, because then he's like, I'm sorry. And she's like, no, sorry, I'm sorry, never mind. I don't know why I'm here for training. Like, I actually do like the way she's writing the dialogue. It feels realistic. Like, I think that she tried to make it sound like how we actually talk, and I actually like that, because we do have a lot of filler words. Like, I say like all the time, I say all the time, and she's putting that in the dialogue, and I actually like that. So I know I just said that, but I'm just, again, fascinated by this book. It's an enjoyable experience because, again, I'm just like, Haley, very impressed that she did this. And there are certain lines, or like when the writing starts to flow, and I find it flows when she's not trying so hard. Like, I do think she tried hard to make her writing very descriptive and like, I don't know, yeah, descriptive. But when she's just like making the characters explain something, or in a scene like this, I find it flows really quickly and I can just read it really fast. So I like that. I do find that, like, yeah, some of the description / the big words takes me out of the story a little bit, but only because I'm reading it to see the writing. Does that even make sense? What am I even saying? Anyways, so I'm gonna finish this chapter, and then I do have to go do some other work. You guys, page 115. That kiss was so good. It was so good. I felt the feels. Like, well done, Haley. How did she do that? I'm impressed. Okay, yeah. So that was, I don't know why I'm sitting like this. Whatever. That was in chapter 10. Chapter 10 was really good. It was really good. Please, Blair. Please what? Please, he begs, kiss me now. Oh. then he says, end me now. Like, that's some, like, romantic-y type stuff. Hello. Don't be jumping on my books. Hey! No. No! 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 No touchy. Not allowed to scratch my chair. Okay. That was crazy. You guys. There are some serious spoilers we need to discuss. First of all, page 118, when she is like working extra hours with Declan and they're painting, but he's injured and we have to like figure out why and all of that. But she has to like climb up a ladder to paint. And I really loved the humor that Haley put in here. So, okay, so let me just read a little bit. So Declan says, you'll have to use the ladder to reach it if that's okay, he asks. Yeah, sounds good. I put pretty good at using a ladder in my application, so I reply deadpan. He doesn't offer so much as a polite chuckle. Ouch. I thought that was really funny, really clever, like well done. And then when they're talking about like her dream to be a writer, and he's like, what do you mean it's not your dream anymore? I just love that he's like still invested in her, but like he's also mad. Oh yeah, this was funny too. Okay, so she likes to write, but she went to college for like business / accounting. I don't even know. But anyways, he's like, you majored in economics? Yes. Is that so difficult to believe? No, it's just, I guess it's just surprising for someone who loves words so much. And she's like, I could love both. He's like, both what? Words and economic theory. I thought that was funny. And he chuckled at that. So that's nice. Oh, okay. And then when she like hurts herself, like she gets a sliver or something, and he like wants to like help her, of course. And at this point in the book, it would have led to at least a makeout session in any other book for a romance, but they don't. It doesn't go that way at all. She actually runs away because she's so upset and she doesn't want him to see her cry. And even when she's on the beach and she like falls asleep there and stuff, like he could have like picked her up and like, you know, shown some kind of chivalry or whatever. And that would have made us swoon. But I also think that it wouldn't be realistic to these characters' history, and like she's not making it look like Declan has always loved her and never stopped loving her, because maybe that's true, but his actions towards her are not showing that. So I like that she's not making him be like physically affectionate to her when they haven't actually reconciled yet. Does that make any sense? I don't know. I just think that's a really smart move on Haley's part. Like I still loved the beach scene. Like when she wakes up and he's like, I'm gonna drive you home. And she's like, no, like I actually don't want to be in a car with you. Like relatable, you know? Okay, and then after that chapter, the 4.5 years ago, senior year, we get the like beginnings of the fight, I guess, or maybe this is the fight. He doesn't have enough money to go to college, and he is going to college for football most likely, and she needs a full ride, and they're gonna be far away from each other and having to do long distance. And he's like, I'll support you. And she's like, no, my mom did that and he left, so I'm not doing that too. I just like that she's showing these characters have raw emotions and not thinking clearly, because again, they're 17, so they shouldn't be thinking clearly. But because like the earlier flashbacks, they are shown to be like so in love and nothing can keep them apart. But life happens though. Like in real life, life happens, and you don't have the fuzzy feelings all the time. Like you do have to work through like serious life issues to make it work. And I just, again, I like that Haley's doing that. And it's not fluffy. It's not light and fluffy. It's like serious. And I think it's really relatable. So thank you. Oh, another thing that I really like. Okay, I don't know where this is going in the video, if it's spoiler or not, but I really like that she's showing how her friends, Blair's friends, don't know how to react to her grief, and that they actually don't realize how deep her grief is. I relate to that as well. I think that's realistic. And again, appreciate it. Like, thank you, Haley, for not just taking the easy way out with this story and the characters. Like, she really is putting it, she's making it realistic, and I like that. Okay, and of course the little cottage that Lottie gives to Blair is across the street from Declan. I am very excited about that. Just gonna say that. It's great. It's great. I'm definitely like really enjoying it now. Page 177. You've always been worth my time, Blair. Melting. She is building this tension really well. I appreciate it. I think this is nice. You guys, I just finished chapter 23 and it okay, I think that this is good because I like that she's not making it easy. And I'm not saying that other romances do, but I guess it would be easier for her as an author to just make the relationship easy and the characters not have issues. But I do think that their second meeting and them getting to know each other again and the kind of like rekindling of their relationship, they talk, like she definitely is not doing the miscommunication trope. Sometimes the communication, it seems like, wow, they were really like comfortable just communicating just then and like being really open about their feelings. To me, that could be seen as that's too easy and like that's a cop-out kind of thing for this book. But I think that it's actually working because the emotions still come up. Like Blair is still really affected by Lottie's death and Declan being so new, and I don't like, they did talk about forgiving each other, but the trauma is still there from the past and like all the things that happened. And she was just at the gala with him and she was talking to his family and she freaked out and she's like, I need to go. And I think that's relatable. Okay, and I finished it and I just filmed my little wrap up for the non-spoiler section. So for my final spoiler thoughts, I was just saying that I really loved the epilogue / the 6 months later piece because it shows them getting engaged, and we see that in Christian fiction often where the romance, they're usually in the epilogue, they show the engagement happening, and it just feels like it completes the romance because that is why you're with someone, is to get married, because otherwise like you aren't supposed to do any of the like physical perks that you get when you love someone. So I liked that she showed that, because in most secular books that I've read, there's no marriage. It's just them in a relationship now, they're dating and they could do whatever they want kind of thing, that like that's implied. But for this one, it definitely was like, no, their relationship is leading to marriage, and I really liked that. And I did think like her final just like freak out and then finding the letter and the mom hiding it and stuff, like all so accurate. That's kind of all I'll say. I don't have anything else. There was like a few times during their kissing scenes where I'm like, how deep is she gonna go with this? But it never goes that deep because she like talks about their lips touching, but then she will write about Blair's feelings about it. And I did wonder if she was gonna show Declan's point of view, but she didn't, which I'm sure would be very difficult to do. So I don't blame her for not wanting to do that in her first book, but I do hope eventually she does write from the man's or boy's dude's perspective, because I'd be really interested to see how she would write that. And then I think it would add another layer to the romance. I think for this book, it probably wouldn't have worked just because there was so much like assumptions being made that they didn't know what happened really between them. And if we had seen Declan's point of view, we would have known what would happen, and it would kind of take the mystery away from it. So yeah, that's everything, guys. I hope that you liked it if you read it. Please don't write spoilers, or if you do write a spoiler in the comments, just put big block letters spoiler and then put a bunch of spaces so that people aren't spoiled. Not that there's anything super spoiler in here, but I still would want to like respect everyone because it hasn't been out that long, and that's the thing. If you do want to order yourself a copy, in Canada, it's fairly affordable to order from Amazon. So I'll put an Amazon link. And in the US, I don't know where the best place really to buy books, like secular books, is. Like I've seen Amazon US prices for books, and they're pretty great even compared to Canada's. So again, I'll put the link down below if you want to buy it through one of my links. I'll get commission for it, but it doesn't change the price of what you buy. So I'll put it there if you want to check it out. But I do highly recommend this, especially I think it's safe for teens to be reading, but I do think that adults would like it too. Yeah, okay, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.